The recording. Okay, started right now. Cool. Okay, as the first thing, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself a little bit. Just say what you think is relevant about yourself.
Okay.
A little introduction.
Okay. So my name is Akshat Agrawal. I'm a software engineer by profession, and I met Sunny because I took a career break. I quit my job to travel the world for around 15 months. I traveled to I traveled to pretty much all the 7 continents and 40 countries. And yeah, we met like 6 months, 7 months ago in Philadelphia when I was traveling across the east coast of US. So yeah, that's pretty much about me, relevant to the conversation.
Okay. So I saw on your Instagram profile that you mentioned your dream to travel for a year. Well, in this
Yeah,
case, you said 15 months. Um,
yeah,
so how was this whole idea? I mean, how was it like? How did you think about that? Like about
mm,
this dream?
right. Yeah, so it's yeah. Before that, Sunny, like how much time do you have? Because I can cater my answers
I have
shorter or
I have an hour and 40 minutes.
oh, that's good. We have time to have a
Yeah.
conversation. No problems. Yeah, cool. So yeah, cool. Because when I sit and talk about these experiences, they are so like close to me that I want to give all the time to do that.
Of
Anyways,
course, of
so
course.
yeah, so how did it all start? I like since childhood I've had this hunger of experience everything that this world has to offer, and a big part of it involves traveling. So when I was in college, I used to like dream about traveling the world. I used to dream about how can I experience more cultures, how can I experience things outside my comfort zone, outside my country. And a couple of things that I started reading about, and I found that one thing I can do is I can do a remote job where I can either just have a job that allows me to move around and work, or I can find jobs in different locations. So the second thing, for the second thing, I realized that it's not the most efficient thing for me, given that I have an Indian passport, which makes it harder to really move around constantly. And
Okay.
the other thing is that I need to like upgrade myself. I have a skill, and if I keep moving around and doing different jobs, I won't be able to have like one specific skill which will help me earn money in the long, like a good amount of money in the long term. So the second option was not viable for me. The first option, I was very much interested in that till the last year of my college, and then I went for a job. I started working and COVID hit. And during COVID, I tried doing this in India, where I worked from Goa, I worked from Shimla, and I realized that it's not the best choice for me because I was kind of distracted while traveling. So I'm a kind of guy who likes to work when he's working, like really, and he likes to have fun when he's having fun. So I realized that when I was working, half of my mind wanted to just go out and explore, and then on the
Mm,
weekend when I was really exploring, half of my mind was in work, because like as a software engineer, you're always surrounded around problems and your job is to solve problems. And when your mind thinks about problems, and it thinks constantly, so I realized that it's not the most fulfilling thing to do. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, but then what
doesn't
else can I
suit
do?
you very much, this digital
Yeah,
nomad
it's
kind of life.
definitely good. It's definitely better than just being in an office for the rest of your life. But it wouldn't be the best suited solution exactly. Like digital nomading is fun, and don't get me wrong, it's amazing for people who are doing it for like 10 years or for 12 years, because it's like they now are in a routine for it, right? But for
Hmm.
me, I was like, I am not sure whether I'm going to do this for 10 or 12 years. I might, but I'm not sure. So this is not like the most efficient way right now. So, so yeah. So I was like, what can I do like otherwise? And I was clearly, so like I have this habit of really saving up money for my future so that I can do anything. So I was saving up my money, and I realized that okay, like I met a couple of backpackers from outside. I go to these meditation camps called as Vipassana meditation, where you meditate for 10 days.
I was
So
that was incredible when I saw it because I also
yeah,
wanted to do it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I'd be
"Oh,
happy
look
to
at
tell you
this."
about it. Yeah.
I actually wanted to do it in Colombia, but I noticed that they give priority to Colombians first.
Mm,
There are
mm,
some
mm,
rules, so I
mm.
couldn't do it. But there are other countries in which, I mean, they don't
Absolutely.
prioritize like
Yeah.
people that are actually from the place. So maybe, I could,
Yeah.
but it's been a while. Like, one friend suggested doing it. And I'm like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I'm still looking for the right moment and the right
Right.
country to do it. But yes,
Right.
so I'll ask you
Right.
about that too.
Oh, absolutely. Please feel free. But yeah, so coming back, so I used to go to these Vipassana, like I've been to 8 of them till now. So I used to go in my college and after my college, and I used to meet some backpackers who used to come there, and I used to listen to their stories. And like they used to tell me about different ways through which they're traveling. So I told you already two options. And then I realized that there are some students who take year break during their college to just go around Southeast Asia. So I'm like, hey, I can't take an year break, not when I'm a student because I need to focus on my career, but definitely when I have money, right? And not just Southeast Asia. I can travel the world if I have enough money. So I started saving up for it like constantly. So it took me around 3 years, 3.5 years, to save up a decent amount of money so that I can quit everything and just go travel. So that's how it began. And as soon as COVID helped because I moved to my parents' place, which means I didn't have to give rent. I didn't have to do like, grocery shopping and stuff like that. So I was like, so I was saving up pretty much all my money because I was lucky that I didn't have to support my parents. They can self-support themselves. So yeah, I was pretty much saving 90% of my income every month, which made it faster. I had a 5-year time frame, which made it shorter to like 3 years. So yeah, that's how it
Oh,
happened.
but I'm curious. What about your job?
Yeah. What
I mean,
about it?
you quit, right? You said you
Yeah,
quit.
yeah,
So then
yeah,
you were easily able to go back to work
yeah.
when you were done.
So it happened this way that I was like I had a strong network of people, and the people that I was working with, they were like kind of very supportive, and like we had a good bond. So like a few months, before I was ending my trip, I asked them again, like, hey, do you like have you know, do you have any position left, or like, do you want to take me back? Why not? Like, what's the harm in asking? And they said, yeah, sure, man. Like,
But what did
hop
they
in. Like,
say when you said, "Well, I'm quitting and I'm just
oh,
going
that,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
travel"?
So matter of fact, they were kind of excited about it and they were fairly supportive about it. So my manager and like me, we are pretty much on a brotherly terms. We are very good. Obviously, he's my manager, so sometimes he cusses, like sometimes he fucks me up as well. But then, like, yeah, we were in good terms. And then my CTO, like, it's a startup, so my CTO, I told him like my first idea was to actually ask for a sabbatical, and if they can give it good enough, if not, then we'll see. So I call
The
my CDO and I tell him that,
sabbatical
yeah,
means that they would still pay you.
unpaid, no, unpaid. Just put me on a contract that I'm still an employee, but I can take like it's like an unpaid leave. So they're not gonna pay me anything, but they're like, yeah,
But
you
they
can come
don't
back.
fire you.
Yeah, they don't fire me basically. So
Mm.
so yeah, that was the case. So we like, yeah, I called him and I'm like, hey man, I want to take a sabbatical for 8 months. Initially I said 8 months because it was May when I was trying to leave. And I asked it till December. And he was like, okay, but what are you gonna do with it? Like, it sounds pretty exciting. Tell me about it. And I was like, yeah, I want to travel the world. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. And he was like, holy shit, that's amazing, man. Like, tell me more about it. So he was excited. He got more excited than me. I'm like, wow, that's nice. I did not expect that. So yeah, yeah. So they obviously,
Now all your
so he,
colleagues are quitting and saying, I want to go and travel the world.
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about quitting their job, right? Everyone wants to do it, but nobody has has the guts to do it, or they are like they want to do it, but they are in situations where they don't want to do it. So yeah, like they all say they want to do it, but I haven't seen anyone doing it till now.
Why do you think is that? Why there are so many people saying, yes, I admire you, I want to do it, but
Yeah,
then they cannot actually, do
a
it.
couple of reasons, honestly. The first one, which is an understandable one, is that like you like their circumstances don't allow it. For example, they
Yeah.
have to, like in India especially, I can talk, like we are culturally very much bonded with our families.
Mhm.
So like our parents and everyone, like it's like our parents took care of us very well when we were kids, and so like we want to reciprocate that, and it's our duty to reciprocate that. So many people, they're supporting their families because their families are not that well earned, not that rich, or not that self-sufficient, basically not even rich.
Mhm.
So they, like, their entire money goes into supporting their family, supporting their kids, supporting their wife. People of my age who are not married, they're, yeah, like that's one reason that like their family background is poor, that they are focused on making that better, which is an
Okay.
understandable reason. Or like their parents are not well or things like that. The other reason is like the fear of unknown, which is an important reason, which is like, hey, I have a job right now, and if I quit, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna get it or not. Or if I quit, I'm not sure what's gonna happen to me. Right? That's one set of fear of unknown. The other set of fear of unknown is, hey, it's totally unknown outside. I'm not sure if I quit and I go out, what's gonna happen to me, right? Somebody
Mhm.
can kill me, somebody can hurt me, somebody can, you know, make me feel sad and bad. They're more focused on thinking about the wrong things. And even if they have the money, like this is the case when I'm talking, when they have the money for it, they want to do it, but they're too much in their own comfort zone. They're like, no, I'm fine here. So that looks interesting, but it doesn't look, like alluring enough that I can leave my current world and go outside.
Yeah,
And
it's
they,
more like, yeah,
yeah,
it's a dream, but for few people, right? It's like I
yeah,
just
it's more
take
like,
a distance
yeah,
to be like I admire, but I don't think that can actually be a
yeah,
thing for
exactly.
me. Maybe something like that.
Yeah. For them, it's very nice to have, but they don't want it bad enough. For me
Hmm.
and you, we wanted it bad enough, and we wanted to make it a reality. Otherwise, we would suffocate. It
Hmm.
has to come to that point to take this kind of a decision. Otherwise, you don't go about taking it.
Yep, I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. And so, what would you say to someone who wants to start traveling,
Yeah.
but they're all like, I don't know, I'm scared. Like, what would be your suggestion
Yeah.
for them?
Like, my suggestions would be a fairly logical one, and it would involve a couple of questions. First, like you're saying, you want to do it. Like, why do you want to do it?
Mhm.
I mean, why? You could be happy living in your home, going to office, and just having some friends around you. Like, do you want to do it just because people are doing it on Instagram and it's cool? If that's the reason, then don't do it. It's not for you. Like, if that's the only reason, that's not a
Mhm.
good enough reason. Now, let's say you want to do it, right? And you know why you want to do it. Then what's stopping you? Why are you scared? Is it the money? If it's the money, make sure you have enough money that you can support yourself. You have to work really hard towards it, because it's dreams you are talking about, right? Dreams don't come by easy. Either you need to have figure out like how to earn the money, or you need to save enough to be able to do it. Let's say your why is clear and your money is clear. Then what's stopping you? The fear of unknown, which I said. Then go out and explore, right? Don't go out for a year, don't go out for 10 years. Go out for 2 weeks, go out for a month. See if it suits you. See if the glamour that Instagram talks about, whether it's real or not, whether it's good for you or not. Do it for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And in 2 weeks and in a month, if you really want to do it, if your why is clear, I mean, you won't be able to stop. You'll like, oh, I want to keep doing it forever and ever and ever. Won't be able to stop.
You,
Take small steps. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying take small steps. That's how it's done. Yeah, that's the only way of doing it. Yeah.
So you said then you don't want to stop, but now you
Yeah.
stopped. So how do you feel about that?
That's a good question. I kind of saw that coming. So so a couple of things. First thing is, like, I had this hunger, as I told you, I had this hunger of traveling the world, right? After 15 months traveling to all the seven continents, to like 40 countries, my hunger was satisfied. Like, it was like, I whatever I seeked, I mostly found. Because if you look at my travels, uh, what happened to the slide? Wait, that's weird. Give me a sec. Sorry.
Mhm. No problem.
Yeah, I think I've tried to make it a bit better. Let's see. Anyways,
Uh,
so
Give
yeah,
me just
like
1 second, real quick.
sure, no worries.
I prepared document with your name and everything. It disappeared. Okay, let's do this again. Um, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying?
So yeah, wait, I forgot what I was saying. We were talking
The
about,
hunger. You were
yeah. This, yes. I had this hunger of, yeah, why I stopped, right? So I had this hunger, which is now kind of fulfilled because the kind of experiences I wanted to have, I pretty much like had all of that. Look, if you like trace back my entire travels, every week, every month of my travel has been planned in a way that I'm experiencing something new because I had this hunger of experiencing everything that this life has to offer, right? That was pretty much satisfied, and I was also out of money. So, and as a matter of fact, I was kind of craving a stable life as well because I've been in a dynamic environment for long enough that I wanted to settle down. Maybe like if not in India, like at some other place for some months or like a few years, so that I could. Oh, now we are back. We have the light. So that I could really, like live like experience other aspects of life as well. So that's why I stopped right now. But I do. I mean, of course, I'm gonna keep traveling like in breaks. Because I still have things that I want to experience, that I want to visit, places that I want to visit. Norway being one of them, because Norway is definitely one of my dreams.
Hmm,
I'm gonna do a road trip from north to south in Norway. So
it's beautiful here. The nature is
yeah,
stunning.
absolutely.
You were in
Totally.
Iceland, so
Yes,
I think
yes,
if you went there, like phew, there's got to be like the most beautiful landscapes, and there's only few
absolutely.
people, so oof.
It's
Um,
it's Iceland was definitely magical. But yeah, so that's why I took like it's more like I stopped because I haven't really stopped. It's like a pause where I'm still recharging myself. I'm focusing on other things, and one day maybe who knows, I'm gonna get out again. If not like for long term.
season two,
Sorry.
season two,
Yeah, season two.
second
It's gonna
season.
be different than season one. It's not gonna be like I'm gonna give the entire season in a week or in a month. It's gonna be more like small
Yeah.
travels.
So it looks like you were a little tired at the end of
Yeah,
your
absolutely,
travel. Yeah, because it
absolutely.
was pretty intense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you were pretty organized. Like, how were you traveling? Like, you knew what you were going to do every day, every week, or it was a little bit of improvisation? Like, how
That's
did
too
you
boring.
travel?
Yeah, so if I knew every day, every week, every day of my year what I'm gonna do, it's gonna get too boring. That's not how I roll, not at all.
Yeah.
So for me, it was more like I had certain things like in my mental list that I want to do this, and I basically connected the dots. So it was more like, for example, I want to dive like it's like I'm talking about the very first phase of my travels. One thing I really wanted to do was I wanted to chase the southern lights, the aurora australis, which are in the south, and I wanted to dive in the Great Barrier Reef. Yeah, there are southern lights as well, and I wanted to dive in the Great Barrier
I'm
Reef
not
in
sure I
Australia.
understood what you wanted to. You wanted to dive?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to see the southern lights, right? The aurora
Okay.
australis. So there are just
Oh,
like there
I
are
see.
northern aurora borealis. There are southern lights as well, which are not that famous, but
Oh,
like
okay.
aurora australis. That was one of my dreams, let's say. And there was another dream where I wanted to go scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef in Australia because Great Barrier Reef is the biggest reef in the world, right? So I
Mm.
wanted to do that. Uh, and I'm in India. So in order to dive in the Great Barrier Reef, I wanted to have a scuba diving certification. So what's the best place to have a scuba diving certification? Thailand, because it's the cheapest place in the world.
Oh, Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
So
you're being very
what I did,
smart.
so yeah. So it's like there were these dots that I connected. So what I did from India, I started from Singapore. I went to Singapore. That was my first place where I started traveling, and then I went to Malaysia, and then I went to Thailand. In Thailand, I did my scuba diving course, and then I flew to Australia. I was in Melbourne. I went to Sydney, and then I went to Tasmania, where and I planned my like stay in Australia around the time where you can see the southern, where you can try to see the southern lights. So I went to Tasmania, where I like rented a camper van, and that was like that was not planned. Tasmania is one of the best experiences of my life. It's because I took a camper van, and the day I took a camper van, it was the night before that I decided that fuck that, I'm gonna take a camper van because it's gonna be a crazy experience. It's gonna be the first time that I'm gonna do something like that. It was not planned at all, right? So I went, I took this camper van and I went across the remotest areas of Tasmania. I drove around, I was there alone, cooking by myself in the van, sleeping by myself in the van, sleeping under the stars, waking up next to beach, waking up next to lakes and trying to chase the southern lights, which I was able to do that, fortunately. So, and then eventually, Tasmania was south of Australia, and Great Barrier Reef was northeast, Cairns. So I traveled my way upwards from south of Australia till the northeast, and made my plans accordingly because these were the two things that I really wanted to do. So that's how I
Okay.
made. So I same thing for everything. Like I wanted to chase the Great Migration in Africa, so I made my entire African plan, like plan for Africa around it, and I made sure that I am in Africa at the time where when there is Great Barrier Reef. I wanted to chase the Northern Lights. It could have been from Norway, Iceland, or Alaska, and I realized that like the way I wanted to travel, Alaska would be a better way. And I did not decide that before traveling, before starting my travels. I decided that like 2 months before the exact time where when I wanted to chase the Northern Lights. So it was a mix of really, really, what should I say, spontaneous decisions mixed with some really, important things that I really wanted to do. So it was like macro, like a general guideline of planning, and then a lot of spontaneity while going around. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned, just because I was curious and I wanted to ask you this before. You mentioned your family. You said that Indians are very, like they have this bond with the family. So, what about your
Yeah.
family? Were they happy that you left for a year, a few months?
Right. Right. That's
Or
that's a
probably not
good
happy
question.
is the right happy is not the right word, but were they supporting you?
Yeah. So in India, like, I mean, the reason why you don't see a lot of like, honestly, I'm the only Indian that I have met who backpacked across the world like this. And the reason for that is like you don't see a lot of backpackers from India because we are a relatively, so to speak, conservative society, and that like, and the issue is money also. Like you guys earn in euros and dollars, whereas we earn in rupees. So I mean, in India, it's a comfortable life, but when you step outside India, like it's a lot of money for us,
Mhm.
right? So not everyone, like I was in a good college and then I got a good job. I worked hard enough to be able to save that much, but Indians can't do that. And even if they are able to save, being a conservative society, this is like a fairly new concept, backpacking across the world, going solo. So they were fairly scared about it. I mean, they were open minded enough to be able to say, hey, it's your money, do whatever the heck you want with it. I mean, it's okay. Like, we support you in that. But honestly, we're very scared. Like, what kind of a decision is this? So it took them some time. So they were very supportive in terms of my decision. But they were very scared. So it took them some time to really, for me to really make them understand that not really, world is a good place. Bullshit, world is not a good place. Look at the internet. Look at the social media. Look at news, and like look outside the news. Look at how many people are here to help us in India itself, and then in the world. So it took them some time, and they were definitely nervous about it. They were like very strong to come out of their comfort zone and let me do it. And within the first month when I started doing it, they became more comfortable. In the second month they became more comfortable, and then they started seeing my things on Instagram, and then they became excited. They were like, okay, what are you gonna do next? I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you. You can see for yourself. Because if I tell you, you're gonna be scared again. So that's yeah. So but then they were the ones who had the most fun, which was the biggest thing for me.
Okay. So I guess what you did and also the fact that you shared it on Instagram had a huge impact on people around you, I
Yeah.
guess. I
Yeah.
imagine a lot of people just texted you and saying, maybe I also want to do it. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
kind of feedback, but I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. Like I initially, honestly speaking, like given the way the world society is framed, I initially thought that I'm gonna get a bit of a backlash, or maybe get some laughs or something, and then eventually when people see it, they start realizing that I'm doing good. But the opposite happened, like opposite in the sense that everyone was thrilled about it. They were really shocked, surprised that I'm doing something like that, but they were like really excited. And I used to get, and even till now, like I on a daily basis, I get a lot of messages where people say that, hey man, like your accents inspired me to do something that I wanted to do so much, but I was not doing it because I was so much in my comfort zone. But seeing you, I feel that I want to do this in my life and I'm going to do this. Other people who say that, yeah, that I also wanted to travel like you, but I'm not able to do that because of so and so circumstances. But I'm so thankful to you that through you, I'm able to travel the world from my phone.
hmm,
Like these are,
Chris.
if I am changing lives of people, even if it's one person or like 10 people, right? Or I'm inspiring someone, or I'm through me, if people are able to experience something positive that they wouldn't experience otherwise, I mean, it's the best feeling in the world, like seriously. So yeah, I'm grateful about that. Yeah.
So I was thinking your parents said, oh, this is a dangerous world. That's what parents normally say through, because they watch the news, they read the newspaper. But how did your idea of the world change? I mean, now you know you
Yeah.
you've visited so much,
Yeah.
like, so what can you say about the way you perceive the world now?
Mm.
How
So
did that
different.
change?
How did that change? So yeah, I mean, I kind of had a certain degree of faith in the world. That's why I took the first step. I was anyways, I never used to watch news. And even now, if you see after traveling, I'm fairly not that active on social media because I don't want to consume what these people are trying to feed me. So I had certain degree of faith, but not that much. I was like, I know I might be okay, right?
Mhm.
But the more I travel, and the more beautiful people I met, the more amazing people I met, I was like, oh, I know I'm gonna be okay. Because for every one bad experience remotely, not even like I haven't had a very bad experience, one remotely bad experience that I've had at least 200 really good experiences.
Yeah, and I mean, the
For
thing is, this bad experience, I mean, life is, like ups and downs. It's
exactly,
not that you
absolutely.
go
Oh,
traveling and
absolutely.
everything has to be perfect. I mean,
Absolutely, that's not how it goes, right? It's never all rainbows and sunshines. You have days where you're annoyed, you have days where things don't go your way, which is okay, right? Which
yeah,
is
you're
okay,
right,
which
because
does
not even
that's
in
how
your
life is.
daily life, the place where
Yeah,
you were born, things always go
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
so I don't
absolutely.
understand why it should be perfect when you travel. Actually, you're
Right.
exposing yourself to more things, to more adventures, so it's
And
also
that's
more
how you're learning,
possible.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I mean, you won't learn if you don't face adversities. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely.
So my faith in the world has increased. My love for the world has increased, and my gratitude for being alive and being a human being and being able to do this much has also increased. I was grateful for this before as well, but now it's at least 100 folds. Like I'm glad to be a human being who's living in 2023 and who was able to do whatever I've been able to do. Like no other species on this planet Earth would be able to do this much, right? Yeah.
So now I'm curious to know what was the most challenging moment. Oh,
The most challenge. So there hasn't been one challenging moment as such. There has been a lot of them. One of them being since I have an Indian passport. It's not that easy to get visas. Like if I had a European passport, I would be able to do 10x more than I did. You know what I did in this 1 year, right? But I would have been able to do more than like 10 times, because it used to stop me. I used to come back. I had to sometimes return to India to get my passport stamped. I can't get it stamped outside India. Sometimes I had to wait
Mm.
for months to get a visa, weeks. Sometimes I had to apply, like I had to change my plans if I'm not getting a visa. Those things were annoying because
And just one
it
thing, I
was,
think there are a lot of people that don't even know that there
yeah,
are
exactly,
passports
exactly,
that are much more powerful than others. Maybe
exactly,
think, oh well, if someone has the money, just travel, No, or the
exactly.
possibility. No, it's not just about that. It's also about the country where you were born. Like
Absolutely.
a person from United States can travel so
Yeah,
easily everywhere, or someone from Italy like me and from
yeah,
Europe.
yeah,
But people, for example, I was in Jordan, and for example, people that I met in Jordan, they were like, well, we cannot go to Europe that easily. Like,
yeah,
like we can go to countries like in the Middle East, and that's it.
yeah.
Outside of the Middle East, like it's so hard to get the visa, and it's a lot of money. So that's something that not everybody knows.
Exactly. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and even my friends, which I met, like some of the friends I hitchhiked with, some of the friends I did road trips with from outside, from Europe, from US, and when I like even while hitchhiking, before every border, I had to check, okay, whether I'm allowed to in this country. And my friend was, he was French, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just checking whether I'm allowed to get in the country, like without a visa." And he's like, "What do you mean? Like, are you not? Like, what have you done wrong?" I'm like, "No, I haven't done anything wrong. It's my passport. That's the thing." And then he realized that, oh shit, like, like it's not for everyone that you can get anywhere. And obviously, I had like I researched about this before, and on the border, I was just confirming that that's the case or not. But then that's the thing, right? Being on every border is a little anxiety, and back of the mind, still I have this in my mind whether they'll be allowing me in or not, just because I have this passport, and just because that made me realize that even though the world is an amazing place, people, countries, and systems have found a place to make people feel lower, right, mentally. Why being born in a different country has to mean that I have to be treated differently, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that like I don't have money or I don't have resources. I have had more resources because of my savings. I've had more resources than 80% of the backpackers that I've met on my travels, and still I've had much lesser, what should I say, much lesser support from the world governments. Uh, so it's like, just because I have a different color, or just because I have a different region of being born, why am I being made to feel that, oh no, I'm different, right?
Yeah.
So that was one thing which was frustrating. The other thing, the other thing was I was denied boarding a few times because of some stupid rules of airlines, through which I lost a couple, like I lost some money, like a couple of $100, $1,000 or something like that. So yeah, that was another one. That was like one of the most frustrating things that happened to me. So otherwise, fortunately, it was really good. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think is the most valuable lesson you have learned traveling?
hmm Before that, I want to add actually one thing. It came to my mind right now about the
Yep.
parents' question you asked, right? So there was one thing they said. They were like, yeah, it's your money, do whatever the hell you want with it, but show us your face in every 3 months. That's the promise we want. If you want to do this, we want to see you in person. We want to see how are you doing, how well are you.
Ah,
So I
okay.
designed my travels. So I had to spend some extra money to get back to India
Okay.
for like 2 3 weeks in every 3 4 months. And also I designed the initial parts of my travel so that all roads lead back to India, right? For
Oh, I
example,
see.
I
I
went
see.
to Southeast Asia, I went to Australia, went up, and then I went back to Southeast Asia, some other countries, and then went back to India before I went to Africa, right? And then I went to Africa, then I went to like Middle East, Africa, and then I went to Middle East. I took the cheapest possible flight options. I went to, and whichever my visa allowed, my passport allowed. Went to Middle East and then came back to India. Then I went to Europe, did the entire Europe, and then I had to come back to India. The longest trip was my American trip where I met you. So I went to North America, South America, Antarctica, back to South America, back to North America, and then I came back to India. That was the longest stretch, but I prepared my parents for that by visiting frequently, like in every 2 3 months. So yeah, that's
Okay.
something I wanted to add. So that was a
Yeah,
promise
this
that
is
I
also important. Interesting. Okay, that was a
yeah.
good compromise, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it was a costly compromise, but it was definitely worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
I was
yeah,
asking you, yeah, about the most valuable lesson you think you've learned while
most
traveling.
valuable lesson. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the most valuable lesson that I've learned is like take life easy. I mean, that's so before I started traveling, like I used to be very, focused and paranoid. Like I wanted to be the okay, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I wanted to be the best like person in the entire world. I wanted to be the top of the world. I wanted to be the guy which everyone looks up to, and like with power and with a lot of money. I wanted to work so hard. I wanted to hustle my way up, right? And that all is still there,
So in that
but
sense, you mean the best, you mean the most powerful,
financially
rich.
and powerful and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
because again, the roots of it comes back to where I come from, because I come from a place which has been ridiculed for like hundreds of years, which has been enslaved for hundreds of years. India has always tried to come on top, and India has always made sure that they are on top. But then, they're made to feel, Indians are made to feel that, oh, you're not enough. And that used to kind of annoy me, right? And I was like, why am I not enough, right? Why am I like, why are you saying that? So I had this thing of, I want to be the best person in the world where everyone looks up to me, right? So that was the case. And then when I went out and I saw the lives of so many people, I saw the lives of I heard their stories, and I obviously read a lot of things, and I saw a lot of things in which changed the perspective in me, because I realized that time erases everything. No matter if I become the most powerful or the most famous person in the world, with time I'm going to be forgotten. And so if I'm going to be forgotten, whether in 100 years or in 1,000 years, I'm going to be eventually forgotten, right? And every famous person that we still remember till now did not become famous because they wanted to become famous. They became famous as the byproduct of what they did, right? I mean, and in a good and a bad sense as well. You remember Martin Luther King because he fought for the right of the black people. You remember Napoleon Hill because he killed hundreds of thousands of people and expanded his territory, right? For good reasons, for the bad reasons, right? You remember Gautam Buddha because he worked his entire life to liberate people out of their mental sufferings. He gave the way to really clear it, like make your own mind peaceful, happy, and sharp, right? So realize that all the famous people that are still famous, they're famous because like they did something that they were ambitious about, and fame came as a byproduct of it. They did not want to be famous in the first. I mean, they were okay with it, but that wasn't their main aim, right? So it made me realize that like taking life easy and focusing on what's important for me for this month, this year, and in the next 5 6 years is more important than really getting the most becoming the most powerful person. And when I look at the life of the most powerful persons in the world, I've met a lot of millionaires when I travel. I met politicians, and I obviously saw different economic conditions of different people that I met, and I realized that the most powerful and the most rich people are not necessarily the happiest people in the world. The
Mhm.
happiest people are those who have a balance of everything in this life, which brings me back to the point of experience. The more I experienced, the happier I became, and the more I wanted to do that.
Sorry,
And as
give
a
me
by,
1 second.
please, no worries.
Sorry.
Race.
Sorry, I just had a thought and I thought I forgot something important, but actually I'm good. I was like, oh.
Okay. I hope I'm not boring you.
No, not at all. I was thinking this is like going so well. I think it's
Yeah.
flowing and it's like also the questions that just come up very natural. It's actually
That's
the
amazing.
opposite of boring. Yeah, because sometimes with some people, maybe they're a little bit less talkative, so maybe have to ask more questions. But like with you, it's really, I don't know what you
Thank
think if you're
Oh,
having
absolutely.
fun.
It's going pretty well. So, like one thing, whenever I talk to people, I want to get this out as much as possible, so that because you would be one of the ways through which people would know about what other possibilities that are there in this life, right? Because when we are so busy focused in our life, we forget the other things that are also important in their life. So through you, I am being able to reach out to people that I wouldn't reach out otherwise, and I wanted this to be as much helpful as possible. So I'm making a full effort. Yeah. Right. Right.
Okay. Couple more questions because I think you've already said a lot.
Sure. No worries.
So I think it's already intense. Something that you have never shared about your travels.
Oh, why am I going to share about it with you?
I don't know.
Okay. So a couple of things that interesting. Like there's one clear thing that's
I
there
mean,
in
not
my mind right
necessarily something super intimate, but maybe something could
now. No,
be
absolutely.
that is not that easy, that it wasn't that easy for you to mention, but you think that might be important to share anyway. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. No, I have something fun to tell you, but I don't want to tell it to you. Like I'm gonna tell it to you later after this interview, because you would love it, but I don't wanna get it out, right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna tell it to you later. But let me think of something that I haven't told. I mean, yeah, what could be something?
It's not
No,
mandatory. You can say I prefer
yeah, yeah.
not.
If it comes later, I'm gonna tell it to you. Yeah.
Okay. And then just to finish this, also if you have any tricks, you know, for travelers, I guess
Yeah.
you learn,
So
you got a little bit of experience now. So do you have any
absolutely
tricks to share?
right.
Also
So
practical, because like people need to practically travel. So any suggestion or trick I think would be interesting.
so I'm gonna start off with the basic tricks, which most backpackers know, but not the most beginner travelers know about. So one of them being like use a backpack, not a suitcase.
Mhm.
Use packing cubes. They are life changing, life saving, right? And then use tools like Skyscanner and Booking.com
Sorry,
because
when you
they
say
are.
packing cubes, what do you mean?
Oh, that's okay. Packing cubes are basically, so in a suitcase or in a backpack, you can either put everything together, like, or you can use small bags where you
I
can compartmentalize your, stuff. And that's like, for example, for my t-shirts, I had a different small bag, like a packing cube. It's actually standard called a packing cube. For my pants, I have a different one. For my toiletries, I have a different one. And then for my, other things, I have a different one. So
Hmm.
yeah, so
Okay.
using packing cubes is like it's life saving, really. It helps you to, like, if I show you a photo of my backpacks, I had one small backpack and a one big backpack. And then when I traveled across Europe, I had just one small 7 kg bag. That's it. I was able to manage so much space so efficiently because I was using packing cubes and stuff. And then use websites like Skyscanner and Booking.com, which is again, I mean, why I say this, because you could get cheaper alternatives where you could save like $10, $15 more. But here's the thing, they're not reliable enough. So if, let's say, something goes off, you lose the entire $50 instead of just saving of $10, right? So use Booking.com, Hostel World. I mean, these are the things. Like people say, where do you book hostels? I honestly have been so spontaneous that there were days where I did not know where I'm gonna sleep this particular night, and I used to just go to the hostel, well, book it immediately, and used to go there. The other thing, if you want to have fun and if you want to save some money, don't use any of these apps. Just go and go go at the station, get out in the city, search the area which has the most hostels, and just go one by one and figure out which is the cheapest one, the one you like. That
Mm.
has a thrill to it. It does not. It's not the most time saving thing, but you can do it once in a while to save the money and also to have the thrill of it. So yeah, these are some things. Always okay. The important thing is always be nice to people. Like really, I mean, I say it this way: think smartly, but pretend that you're the nicest and the dumbest guy ever, wherever it needed. I mean, you have to act smartly in case of adversities. You have to be the smartest person in the room in case of adversities. But when meeting someone new, someone, a fellow backpacker or something, like be the nicest version of you while also thinking straight. Because if you try to act smart or if you try to act smart ass, you're not gonna make friends, right? People
Mm.
like happy people. People like people who are, easy to go by and simple people. So show that because every person has both the personalities. Show the simplest and the dumbest version of you while talking to
Why do you
people,
say
while
the dumbest?
because that sometimes gets work done more than smartness. So, for example, if you're in a situation where, like, so I'll tell you something. If you're in a situation where there are people trying to, how to like, let me see if I can find like, yeah. So I was, let me think of it this way. It's like I was like among people, like I'm usually among people where I don't know their language and I don't know their, culture and everything. And if I act like I really don't even know English sometimes, and I just use Google Translate, if I use just like I try to act dumber than I am, they usually have pity on me and they try to help me more. I mean, you have to see whom you're talking to, right?
Oh, I
And you have
see.
to
I see what you
way
mean.
around. Yeah,
It's
right.
also being humble, I think, more than dumb.
Humble is definitely one thing. Humble is definitely one thing. Yeah. But if you show them, if you see that they are helpful and if you show them that you are clueless, right, they will try to help you better and they're helpful. So you're not really taking an advantage of them. You're just trying to find the most information in the. If you try to act smart or if you think smart, like you will miss out half of the things because you assume that you will know everything. You know half of the things. But if you
Mm.
think dumb and if you act dumb,
I
you
see.
will
I see.
absorb more information and they will also have some sort of pity on you, which is good for them and good for you because it makes the conversation easier. And then once you know everything, you act according to your intelligence, right?
Okay, that's a
And
thought that
like,
I never
you
heard.
know how you can see me speaking English, right? Sometimes I speak the most broken English possible, right? So that people kind of have a bit of pity on me and they try to help me more, right? It
Okay.
works. It works. Like try it. It works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And I mean, in adversity, you have to be the strongest and the most intelligent version of you because that's the only thing that's going to get you forward in life. And yes, while meeting other people, you have to be humble and you have to be simple and you have to always keep smiling, right? You obviously don't have to cheat or don't have to be two-faced. It's just different versions of personality that you have to use in order to get by.
Hmm.
If
That's
I was not
interesting.
nice to you, we would not be having this conversation right now. And I'm glad that I was nice to you because I got to meet a new person and I got to know her for lifetime, right? So it always worked for me. Yeah.
Hmm.
I see a
It's
lot of like I've seen a couple of backpackers who try to be smart as who try to be like, oh no, we'll be able to do everything by ourselves. Oh no, we don't need people around. Or oh no, we only need the people from our country around. I mean, I've seen them over the months and they haven't grown that much. They have seen some places, they have met some people. I mean, they've had some fun in terms of partying, but they are pretty much the same personality as they were before by
Hmm.
using different aspects of your personality, that's how you learn how to become a better person.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, these are people that, I mean, they're not curious maybe to
Yeah,
interact with
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
people that are different from them. So
absolutely.
they probably already started with that mentality. I think most of the travelers are pretty open to interact.
Yes,
Um,
or
at least
with time they
backpackers.
become open. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or no, absolutely. Either they with time become open, or they are already open. But this is the way through which they can become open very quickly. That's what I'm saying. Like if you,
I just thought about the French guy that was with us, and he just started his trip. I'm just wondering how is he doing, and I want. Do you remember him? There's a French guy. He just started traveling. Was very like a beginner.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember him. I met
curious.
him. I met him again. Actually, I met him in DC. In
Okay.
Washington DC. He went through South America. He backpacked through South America as well. So yeah, like our paths cross again. And after Philadelphia, we met in Washington DC. We like yeah, we spent like 2 3 days together. Me, my friend, and the French guy. And then
Oh.
he was doing pretty well. He was backpacking across South America, and he was doing really well.
Ah,
And
okay. So
he
he
had
wasn't really a beginner. Like you already was already
no.
backpacking.
It was his first destination, and he went to South America after that, and
Ah,
he
I
was doing
see.
very well. Yeah, yeah.
I might get in touch with him and be like, "Hey, how are things
Yeah, definitely.
going?"
Yeah,
Ah,
right.
okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Because I mean, I might, of
Mhm.
course, I cannot ask all the
No, yeah.
questions, but is there anything that is relevant for you or you would like to share and I haven't asked?
Let me think about it. So, yeah. One thing you said that, like, I think we dropped that conversation in between where you asked me that what have you learned from this world, and what has been like the best thing that happened to you during this world trip. So the realization that, one thing, like, I'm gonna sum it up. One thing is, like, the world is a really beautiful place. The other thing is the best way of living life. I was actually coming to that when talked to you about, like, being the most powerful person in the world and all that stuff. So I was actually coming to that part where I was like, I wanted to tell you that I realized over time is one, that people in the entire world are pretty much the same when it comes to their fundamentals. They run on the same emotions. They want pretty much similar things in their life. The only differences are the superficial ones, where, like, they're culturally different, their preferences are different, their way of looking at things are a little bit different. But if you touch the core of the person, it's the exact same. So the world is a beautiful place, and people are pretty much the same everywhere, right? The other thing is that everyone in this world is chasing for the same thing, which in short boils down to happiness. They want happiness in their relationship, they want happiness financially, they want happiness. But in the struggle of reaching towards happiness, people forget about happiness. The one thing that this world trip made me realize is that, you have to always come back to your roots, and you have to always reprioritize what is happy for you. And the only way of doing that is surprisingly to experience more in this world. And the best way of actually going about life that I realized is by really, really, really experiencing everything that you can experience, and exposing yourself, exposing the different personalities of you to, like, however the way you can. Because no amount of money, no amount of power, no amount of girls can give you guys can give you enough happiness, what your own set of experiences can, and what your own set of depth can give you. That's one thing that reaffirmed me again and again, again and again, through this world trip. So yeah,
Hmm. All right. Thank you.
I am glad.
Thank you. All right. So I'll just ask you few more questions, but it's more for a sort of identity card of the traveler.
It- Please.
So, well, I mean, you're Indian, so nationality. I put the nationality. What's your age again?
Well, how old do you think I am?
Ah, I'm not very good with age.
That's where the fun of the question lies, right?
30.
Do I look like 30?
I guess you're younger than.
Am I?
Let me,
Do I
so,
look younger than
no,
30?
I'm confused now. I think, yeah, I would say 29, 30. Between
Okay,
29.
awesome. I
Not
am
that it's
27.
relevant, but just
Of course not. Okay, I'm just having fun. I mean, it's boring to give straightforward answers. Like, I mean, if I say, oh, I'm just 27, end of the conversation. Why? No, I want to have fun too, right? So, yeah, no, I am 27. The
27.
weight and the beard definitely adds up to my age. But yes,
Yes,
I am. Of
exactly.
course it does. Yeah, but I am
Do you remember
27.
how old am I?
I mean, truth be told, now it's my turn,
Yeah,
baby.
because
Yeah.
you said you don't want straight answer, so
You started
uh-uh.
this war.
That's true.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you two answers. You look 28 for sure, 28 or 29, but I have a feeling that you're in your 32 or 33.
32, 33. Why do you have this feeling?
I mean, I see kind of a depth and a maturity in you, which usually people get to see in their 30s. So that's why I feel like when I'm talking to you, that's what I feel. But I mean, if I just go by the looks, I think you look 28.
28, correct.
You
Thank
are
you.
you are 20.
I am 28,
I
exactly
am
28.
I am amazing.
But I've been also traveling, so I got some
Exactly,
what's the
that's what
word
I'm
in
saying.
English? When you're wise, some
Yeah, wisdom.
yeah, wisdom,
Wisdom.
exactly. Um, and years of therapy as well help.
Ah, well, that
um,
helps.
yeah,
That actually helps making you look younger because when you're mentally not that stressed, I mean, you look better.
yeah, and I guess the more you want to learn about yourself, and also as a consequence, also about others, because when you learn
Right.
something about yourself, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Exactly.
It's not that
Yeah,
you're
that's
the
the
only
thing.
person experiencing something. It's like your empathy. Also, reading. I think reading for me was a big part
Yeah.
in empathizing with people. Because
Right.
when you read, especially depends what you read, of course, but generally
Yeah.
speaking, if you read some interesting books, also with a lot of psychology, you have the opportunity to see, this character's psychology from a different point of view, something that is really hard to get in real life unless you're extremely close to someone. So I think that was a big part of it. I think
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
things, of course, not just one thing, but thank you. Okay,
Correct.
so 2027.
Oh, like I wanted to add one last thing. So what you said, like it really happened with me. The more I experienced, the more I started learning about myself.
Mhm.
And the more I started learning about myself, the more I learned about people and the world, and my people skills became better. Yeah. Next question, please.
I don't understand. What are you asking me to do?
No, I'm saying no, you can ask the next question. That was just like that.
I'm
No, I said,
confused. You want me to ask you a question about that?
no. I'm saying what were you about to ask right now? Like,
No. Okay. Sorry. I thought you
yeah.
wanted me to ask you a question about that topic. Okay, sorry. No,
uh,
the next one. Something peculiar about yourself. Could be anything really.
uh, I mean, appearance wise, I'm a short brown guy. That's peculiar, but I don't think that counts. I'm not sure. Uh, right.
If someone
Uh,
asks you like what's something peculiar or unique about yourself, I mean everybody is unique, but maybe there is
uh,
something that characterizes you
oh
somehow.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I have an answer for you. I don't. take any kind of intoxications. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm a vegetarian. So I have traveled around the world while not drinking at all.
Mhm.
Except for once where I wanted to experience how it is to get drunk. That was the only time that I drank. It was fun, but then that was the only time I did it. Yeah. So I've been
Like
like
you
that.
said, you want to experience everything. So I think,
That's why I did
not
that, right?
everything, not everything. There are things that are just stupid. It's stupid to
Yeah,
try.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But definitely you need to put on your list to try
Well,
psychedelic.
that's what I did. I told you, like, except I just told you right now, except for one time, like one time I got really drunk with my friends because I wanted to experience how it feels to get drunk, right?
No,
I
no,
I
but
mean,
I'm
like,
mentioning
other than
psychedelics or like ayahuasca or this kind of stuff. I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
I
the
have a
same.
story about that as
You
well.
should try that because
I think, yeah,
if you're eager to experience things, that's gonna be one of the
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was
mind
backpacking
blowing
South,
experiences.
I was backpacking across South America, and one of like a couple of like I got at least like 15 DMs on my Instagram saying that, hey, try ayahuasca. And I'm like, okay, what's that? So I went. Okay, that's gonna take like 2 more minutes, 5 more minutes. It's like a long story. If you're
It's
up
okay.
for it, I don't know. Yeah,
I
yeah.
am.
Okay. So yeah, I was and like I read about it. I read about ayahuasca, and I told you that like before that I didn't take any intoxication, right? So I read about it, and I told you that I go for vipassana meditation. So I realized that I mean the end goal of ayahuasca the end state is very similar to what I experienced on the 7th or the 8th day of my 10-day Vipassana meditation session. And when I go into very deeper meditations, that's something that I get, like some insights, some experiences, everything, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, I mean, ayahuasca sounds interesting. I've never taken anything in my life, but I wouldn't go chasing towards it. If something comes my way, I would be open to it. I
Okay.
said that much. I decided that much in South America. That was after we met. That was in February, I think. And then what ended up happening is that like I was in Chile, Santiago. I was in Santiago, Chile. Next week I was going to Guatemala, and after that, the next week I was going to LA. And my stay in LA was already decided with whom I'm going to stay with. It was a friend who wanted to host me. She said she met me in Thailand like 10, 12 months ago, and she was like, "Hey, why don't you come by my place?" I'm like, "Sure, I will do that because I mean LA is expensive." So, anyways,
True.
so coming back to Santiago, I was reading about it, ayahuasca thing, and like then in two after 2 days, like a suggestion popped up because of my Google history that things that give you a similar experience as ayahuasca. So I read that like mushrooms, MDMAs, these kind of things, LSD to some extent, these kind of things give a similar experience. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I wanted to see what are the spiritual experiences that are out there, uh, which are different from meditation, and why are they like so much like I want to try it once. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go chasing for it, but if it comes my way, I will be open to it. Before this time, I wasn't even open to it because of the fear that I had of psychedelics.
Mm.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, yeah, I lost connection. So,
Okay,
anyways,
okay. But
yeah,
the electricity went off, or
yeah. It just went off for like 2 minutes, and I lost connection there. So, anyways,
no problem.
uh, yeah. So I was saying that like I was like, I'm gonna be open to it. So before that, for my own, because of my own life choices, and a little bit because I'm kind of high on life, like that's something that comes with me. Like that comes to me somehow. Like that's what people say to me a lot. So, anyways, I was like, let's see. So what happens? I'm in Santiago, Chile, and I meet this guy in LA, and I traveled with him, and he, like I say, hey, give me some suggestions for LA, and he says only one thing. He says that if you are in LA, try mushrooms. I'm like, what do you mean? You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke. He offered me, and I said no. So I'm like, man. He said, I mean, see, you are a traveler. You've traveled to LA already, and you can see all the touristy things. But as a local, if there's something I would suggest you, it would be that try mushrooms. I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see. That was my response. Yeah, okay, we'll see.
I didn't know
And
LA was the capital of mushrooms.
oh, it's a good it's a hub. Yeah, it's one of the hubs. Yeah.
Hmm.
LA, SF, they are like San Francisco. They're definitely a hub. So I was like, yeah, we'll see. I checked them off that. Okay, let's see, whatever. But long story short, I went to Guatemala. I hiked up a volcano, and then I went to LA. And in LA, the person that I went to the person that was hosting me, and as soon as I entered her home, I realized that she is a fucking mushroom dealer. She has an alchemy lab in LA in her own house where she shows me about growing mushroom, and my mind was blown. I'm like, what the hell? I started connecting the dots. Like, I mean, how it's like I have been brought to this point in the last 2 weeks where as soon as I said I'm open to it, I don't know how, I don't know, I don't believe in law of attraction or anything, but I was like, or God or anything, but I was like, I have been led to this point because that's a crazy coincidence. Like only a couple of persons I know in LA, and one of them and I'm matched. Like our vibe is matched. That's why I decided to go to her home because like I
Hmm.
remember our conversations in Thailand, and she was a good person, and I was like yeah, like we were both spiritually inclined. We were talking. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. And she was an amazing person. She was an amazing host, right? I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. In this kind of
So
experiences, call you.
yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
like
what.
they come.
Yeah,
It's like they're calling you. Like you hear it once, you hear it twice, and then it's like,
yeah.
but it's like I need to do the experience. You know, when you hear
Same
about
thing.
something, and at
Yeah.
some point you're like, okay, but why do I keep hearing about this? Like maybe I have to do the experience somehow.
Honestly, same thing happened with me with Vipassana. That's another story. But I went to Vipassana when I was 20, and it's because of the same thing. Like, I kind of like the moment I heard about it, it was like I was attracted towards it. Anyways, that being said, so that happened. I was still skeptical, but there's a big story behind it. Long story short, I ended up taking mushrooms and a really big dose, like bigger than what is recommended. Because when I took the recommended dose, apparently nothing much happened. Although she gave me a strong mushroom, she knew what she was giving me. So I like took a big dose, got some experiences out of it. It was very nice, and that was my very first intoxication that I ever took. Before that, haven't had a kind of beer, and yeah, yeah, like I'm serious. And that happened. Yeah, and that happened. That was once. It was a good experience. I'm not sure I'm going to repeat it again because I don't want it to be a part of my life. Maybe once a year, maybe once in 2 years, maybe if it legalizes in India, but I don't know. Yeah. Uh, I Same thing
Was
happened.
it intense?
It was interestingly intense, but I that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't able to match up the intensity of what I wanted to experience. Maybe because of my history in meditation. So that's
Mm.
why I kept taking more till the point I realized that okay, my body won't be able to handle more. So I asked them that, I mean, even if I ask you, do not give me more. Mentally, I can like I was very much in control of my mind. I was very much in control of whatever I could see inside me. But my like it was definitely intense on my body, and I had a fatigue for the next week. So yeah, in that sense, it was intense. But I think in order to go mentally more intense, I could have taken more, but then I don't want to do that because yeah, this was a good experience anyways. So yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe for people that meditate a lot, like,
yeah,
and you can somehow reach this some sort of similar state of
Yeah,
minds already. Like maybe for you
yeah,
it's definitely different. You're able to be more like focused and balanced, while maybe other people are like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like you were already used to somehow see probably some parts of
Yeah,
yourself uh,
yeah,
that normally people that probably don't meditate don't even know about. They're like,
exactly.
I'm not
Yes,
even aware this thing exists.
that's very true. That's very true. As a matter of fact, they were surprised in a very good way. They were like, I had no idea this would happen, and they were like I had no idea that you would handle it so well. It's like you've already done your preparations in life before taking this, and which is amazing, and you don't even know about it. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So similar thing happened. I ended up taking weed also like that. I didn't even know I was taking weed till the time I was taking weed. And then after I did mushrooms and I took weed, I realized like I'll tell you something, Sunny. Like I had this weed, like I was in Seattle. I had this puff, like I had this joint of weed in my hand, and I was looking at it, and I was like my that was the last level of my own inhibitions that broke, and I couldn't believe myself because everything that led me to that point, like while holding it this way, I didn't I didn't realize I would ever do that. Not even 1 hour before I was doing it, and it broke all my inhibition. And that time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try other things as well once, just to have the experience of it. But I also clearly realized, being the person that I am, I mean, everyone is different. So being the person that I am, I really don't need these things in my life at all. I mean, some people do it because they need it. Some people do it for fun. For me, I definitely did not need it, like even the mushrooms, and I definitely did not, like I definitely did not want to have fun with it because I have other ways of having fun, which where I have more fun.
Yeah. I
So
don't think
that's
these substances are for fun. Like the
yeah,
real use is to get, to somehow get access to different level of awareness. But of
yeah,
course, it would be ideally you should try to get to that point naturally. But
exactly,
at the
exactly.
same time, it is true that these substances are natural because they are in nature. So it's like
Mm,
somehow, if they are there, I mean, the mushrooms are, they're mushroom. So I mean, in the sense that they're not even created in a laboratory; they're just around, right?
mm.
So if they are around, they're a part of, the planet, and so somehow it's like I don't see it as necessarily as I don't know how to say this, but I mean if they're there somehow, maybe they're also there to be experienced. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know if this makes sense.
it might have. I mean, what you're saying definitely have some sensibility to it, some logic to it. But I mean, let me put it to you this way to just show you another perspective as well. I
Yeah,
mean, there are some naturally poisonous things also in this world
that is
that
true.
are out
That
there,
is true.
and there are
That is
some mushrooms that are poisonous as well. As a matter of fact, Gautam Buddha died because he was accidentally giving the wrong set of mushrooms by the person who was serving them. It was clearly an accident, but I mean, he died because of this only.
mm,
Like that being said, I mean, I believe that the world is diverse and not everything necessarily has to be like, I mean, definitely that's a good argument that people give in order to support mushrooms. But I think it's more about what's the use of that. It's about
yeah, yeah, of
it has
course.
a means to an end, right? I mean, since I've experienced mushrooms, I know for a fact that if someone is taking it once a week, they're not doing good to their own self because
No,
being
no.
in meditative states, I realized and the addiction of mushrooms are higher than these things. Why? Not physically, but the mental experience it gives you, it makes you addict mentally, which is a stronger addiction than a physical one like that of a cigarette, right?
Mhm.
So
No,
that's what
no,
I'm
that,
saying. Like everything is definitely needs to be experienced once in a while for sure. I agree to that, but then it doesn't have to be like, I mean, it has to be given the importance that it deserves and not like I'm not sure what you're thinking, but I've had people who overhype these things, and I couldn't say anything that time because I haven't experienced it, but now that I experience it, I'm like, yeah, that's a good part of your life, but I mean that's not really the best part of your life. Like there are better parts of your life as well which you can access.
no, no, but
Yeah.
that, I mean, for me personally, it is not an experience that you would do often. Like for me
Oh,
personally, like I would not do it more than once maybe every year, every 6 months,
well,
because at
then
least
you're
for
very
me, for
smart.
the way
Yeah,
my brain works,
yeah,
it's always pretty intense. So
yeah,
it's not that
yeah.
I also need some time to kind of figure out what I've experienced, and I don't need to do it right away, a week after. Like
Exactly.
it's more like I need also to
Yeah,
process
absolutely.
like what
That's very
happened.
good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very good. But then once in a while, we come across people who are crackheads. They are addicted to
Of course.
weed. They're addicted to, I mean, even psychedelics, right? They do psychedelics for party. They do, I mean,
Yeah, this is more like psychological addiction. Yeah, like
exactly.
the idea of, going out of reality because
Right.
somehow
So a person
reality
needs
is
to
not
know that good
interesting
and yeah,
enough. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, here we
exactly.
could talk forever, like there's so
Absolutely,
much to
it's an
say.
open discussion. Yeah, but
But
I
by the way,
definitely
I will not, of course, I will not publish anything about drugs. This is just me and
thank you
you
very much.
talking. I mean, of
Thank you
course,
very much. Yeah,
that's not even.
yeah.
I mean, that's not even related necessarily to
Yeah, so yeah,
traveling.
that's what I'm saying. Like, and that led me to the point where I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna try alcohol once just for the trying it. So I did have not just experiences outside the world, but like in the outer world, but inner world as well, where I tried a lot of substances. So that's why I feel that like I'm very happy with these experiences. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Let me see here. What? Okay, type of traveler. I mean,
Bummer. I think yeah. Okay.
what,
I
what
don't
would
know
you
why there.
say?
No, some electricity fluctuation happened. I don't know why it happened. Like
Oh,
doesn't usually
sorry,
happen.
I wasn't looking because I was looking at a document where I wrote
No
down.
worries. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Um, what type of traveler? I mean, if I asked you like, what type of traveler are you? What would you say? More like a backpacker, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like,
What are the other types of travelers?
well, I don't know. I just let people say what they want to say. Maybe there's a category that I've never heard. I don't know.
Okay.
Um. Okay,
Yeah.
most beautiful place you have been to?
There's no one. No one. There are so many. I can give you 10, and they are equally different and equally beautiful.
Mhm.
But to give you an easier answer, I can give you my top five that are coming on top of my head. One is Alaska because of the Northern Lights. Other is Antarctica because of the sheer raw beauty that it offers. The third one is Guatemala because I saw an erupting volcano there and I hiked a really high mountain to see the erupting volcano the entire night. That was one of the most beautiful nights of my life.
Wow.
And the road trip to Iceland, that was magical.
So
Like I haven't
Alaska,
had.
Antarctica, Guatemala, and Iceland.
And then the last one will be Tasmania, where I had my camper van experience.
Okay.
And
But
to add to your first question, I will tell you something. Three, no, four. Yeah, I would say three out of these five places were not planned at all. Antarctica, camper van in Tasmania, and Guatemala. They were not a part of my plan originally. I
mm,
decided like 1 week or even one night before that I'm going to do this. I went towards it and it is the best experience of my life.
hmm.
Alaska, I would say Northern Lights was always the plan, but where to chase them? Iceland, Alaska, Norway, Scandinavia. I mean, I wasn't sure, but definitely Alaska wasn't there, but Northern Lights was a part of the plan. Yeah.
One question: is it fairly easy to go to Antarctica? I thought it
I
was
mean, expensive.
impossible.
It's expensive, but it's
Uh,
easy. There are
how do
cruises
you
that go
get there? Cruise.
from you can't backpack in Antarctica because obviously there's no humanity there. But then there are
Yeah.
yeah, then there are cruises that go.
I don't know.
You're gonna ask for a burger from a penguin. Yeah, I'm hungry. Give me your meat. So
Okay.
yeah. So then there are definitely cruises that go from Ushuaia, which is the southernmost city in the world. It's in Argentina. You take a cruise from there, and then you go to Antarctica, and then you come back to Ushuaia. So
How long did you stay in Antarctica?
2 weeks. It takes you 2 weeks from. So it takes you 2.5 days from Ushuaia to Antarctica. The sea takes 2.5 days. It's a very rough sea, and then you stay there for like 8 days, explore different parts of the land, and then you Yeah, then you go back in 2.5 days.
Okay, just because I'm curious, how much would that be?
Sorry.
How much is that to go to
Oh, how
Antarctica
much is that?
from
Yeah,
the?
average cost average cost of an Antarctica cruise per person for a shared cabin is around $8,000 per person. But if you
$8,000? Oh,
yeah,
Jesus. So you
but
saved a lot of money.
sorry,
You saved a lot of money. I mean, to just use
yeah,
$8,000 for
yeah,
that was
yeah.
definitely
But
cool.
but that being said, let me complete. That's the average cost for a person. But
Mhm.
if you go for last minute deals, I was in Mexico in North America, in Latin America, the north of
Yeah.
Latin America. Yeah, where when I decided that I'm going to go to Antarctica, and in 5 days, and in 6 days, I took 5 flights to reach Ushuaia, the southernmost tip of the world, right?
Okay.
Because I was getting a last minute deal, which was half the price. So I got it for
Oh,
4,500.
okay. Okay.
If you include the flights, that was still like $500 more. So maybe let's say $5,000, which was still $1,500 cheaper than the next possible package that I was getting. It was a triple bed shared cabin in a really good ship, and it was like last minute because they had last minute seats, so it was 1 week only. So yeah, that's what I did.
Interesting. Okay. What about your motto? Motto.
Motto. I mean, I've been saying that like in every 5 minutes already. I want to experience everything that this life has to offer.
Guys, let me write this down.
Yeah,
I want to experience.
everything beautiful that this life has to offer.
I. But I guess you want to experience everything, right? Only beautiful things.
I mean, I wouldn't want anyone to hit me, of course. So I mean, if pains come my way, I will accept it as a part of an experience, but I will obviously not go chasing a pain, right? I wouldn't go chasing bad things.
Hmm. But you said
Think of
that
it.
with adversity comes the biggest change. I mean, of course, it's not that you are you're like you're
Yeah,
asking for it,
yeah.
but
So it's
it's
more
like
like this. Let's say it this way.
no,
I
I
wanted to travel the
didn't
world.
mean to. It's okay the way it
No, no,
is.
no, no,
It
no, no,
just
no, absolutely. Like I'm just trying to explain it more. Like you have a very good question, honestly. Like adversity is very important, but think of it this way: for every big goal that you want to achieve, I mean, there will be a lot of adversities in order to go and try to achieve that big goal. And when those adversities come, you become a better version of yourself. Adversities are a part of it. You don't need to go chasing it. Yeah,
yeah, of course.
yeah.
All right, I think we finished.
Awesome.
Great. That's great. It was very nice and interesting.
Yeah,
Now it's gonna take me some time because I'm still finishing
please.
another interview.
Come on,
So whenever I'm ready, probably with 3 4 weeks or a month, I will
no
let you
worries.
know. Okay. But in the meantime, I'll send you the. Okay, it's gonna be a
Recording.
little long, so maybe you can cut, for example, the part with the drugs, or I mean, you can keep it, but like it's gonna be a little long.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will probably, like I said, publish like little parts of it.
Yeah,
Nothing
absolutely.
about drugs. Don't worry.
Oh,
And
thank you.
but that's it. That's it, pretty much. So let's keep in touch from
Absolutely.
time to
Yeah.
time, just to know. I'm gonna text the French guy now. So I'm curious. I'll see where he is.
Sebastian. His name is Sebastian.
Sebastian. Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yeah, I should have it still. Sebastian. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
So
Lenny. Grazie
forgot
mille.
it's Akshat, correct? Either way.
Yes,
Akshat.
that's correct.
Okay.
Grazie.
Grazie. Grazie a te. Grazie a te.
Grazie mille. Uh, uh, yeah. Do send me a recording. I'm not really going to use it anywhere as such. Might use snippets of it, but I want to keep it so that, like, if someone wants to, you know, have my experience in detail, I would love to share it with them.
That's
That's
a
why.
great idea. Actually, I should always send it. I should always send it. Thank you. Because then someone can just keep it or delete it. I mean, it doesn't matter, but
Exactly.
they have it at least.
do cut the parts.
Do you want me to send you the part, only the interview
No,
part?
no, no, no,
The
no.
whole
For
thing.
me, send the entire raw thing. I would love that.
No,
But
you
when
can
you're sharing
cut it,
with
of
someone,
course. There's no
yeah.
problem.
But when you're sharing with someone, I would suggest you to only keep like a long version of the important parts and just cut out the rest.
Yeah, exactly. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Stop
I'll
the
see you
recording. I
soon.
want to tell
I'll
you one
see you
more thing. Stop the
You want
recording. I want to tell you one more thing.
Okay, so wait a second. The rompi, stop the recording.